Hey guys, this is part 2 of my square body winch installation. The video was getting long, so I went ahead and split it up into 2 pieces. I hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, I just got back in from test fitting it. I didn't record this because I wasn't thinking, and this thing is too much of a pain to get in and out. It will work how I got it. There's a very, very small amount of play in between the frame rails. So no matter what you guys do, if you're mounting an Apex 12,000 pound winch to a square body, it's going to be tight. Like I'm talking, there was less than a 1/4 inch between the frame rail and each, probably together, maybe like an 1/8 inch between each side. It will work. I'm going to go ahead and bevel this, and then we'll get to welding, and I'll show you guys here in a minute. Alright guys, I realized I probably should have recorded this, but I've ground this one down because I'm going to put a plate over this. That's about what the welds look like. They're not great, but like, man, for a $160 welder, I'm not mad at it. Alright, let's continue on. Alright guys, we're back out here for day 3 of modifying this. I went ahead and got everything welded in. I'm going to grind these smooth and probably plate these. I've already plated it on the inside. You can see here. But yeah, so now I'm creating the gussets for this. I don't think I'm going to gusset this bottom, but this one gusset on the top should be plenty. Just made a little cardboard template. I'm going to go ahead and cut it out of some plate steel I've got laying over here. I just happen to have some that's about the same thickness, so let's get to it. Alright guys, just checking back in here. Remember how I said I wasn't a welder? Well, it's confirmed. They will hold, but they are not pretty welds. This is the top side, and I had to do this like funny L shape, like multiple pieces, because I really shouldn't have cut the entire thing the way I did. I was just not prepared to have to do as much work to this as it needed. And I'm not a quitter, so here we are. It's done enough. I'm gonna end up painting it. Here's my gusset on the back side, or brace, whatever you want to call it. But I think this will be fine. It's still pretty warm. I'm probably gonna run over all this with the grinding wheel just to clean it up a little bit. I kind of wish I would have left more on here, but the issue was the corners were coming in contact here. And before I realized that I needed to bring this up to even clear the transmission lines, I was just going to cut the corners off and then brace them in the corners and then leave the mount where it was originally located. But once I started cutting on this, and then I tried to put it on the vehicle, and it wouldn't even clear the transmission lines without the winch, I realized I was in for a lot bigger project than I initially thought. I would be going to do a test fit, but if we take a little peek outside, it's been raining all night, and I just don't feel like getting wet laying on the concrete and everything else. As you guys saw in the other video, my garage is not very comfortable to work on the Suburban because it doesn't fit in here. And I've also got the GTO and everything else in here too, so it's kind of a cluster in here. Okay guys, it is the next day. This is all cooled off, and I'm going to go ahead and do probably my final test fit before I take it back apart, clean up some of these edges, and then paint it just so it doesn't rust. To install this, I have removed this side's frame bracket up here, laid it on the ground, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift the winch up, pivot in there, and then slide it in along the frame. And then I'll go ahead and reinstall the frame bracket, and you guys will see how it fits. Okay, so now that it's up there, I'll just slide this guy back in here. Okay, and then we will tilt the winch up and then go ahead and attempt to get these bolts in. Previously when I did this, I had a very hard time, but I hadn't welded it all up, and I was really afraid of breaking the tack welds, so I really didn't pry on it or really lean too hard on it. Okay, I'm gonna try and scoot this forward without, yeah, that's what I was afraid of. I should have just put the nuts on that side. I'm gonna go ahead and put a nut on this side, and then I will also try to demonstrate some of the challenges with this, just so that you guys can understand them. Because getting a 12,000 pound winch on this thing isn't necessarily easy. And this is one of the challenges, is that you can't get to it. I grabbed too long of an extension, so I'm gonna be right back. Okay, so I was thinking, and since these are metal lock nuts, they're not nylon or anything, I'm going to not drive them all on right now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to get them kind of finger tight, and that is because I don't want to necessarily wear these out, which I know can happen. So I'm going to just try and get all the bolts in here and get them finger tight so that I can kind of show you guys how it fits up, and then I'll go ahead and try and finish the plate. And it really is a tight fit on this thing. There's not much margin of error. I'm gonna see if I can get these to start. What time do I have to go get the extension yet? Oh, goodness. I might go get this long socket here. Well, no, I'm just gonna blow in the socket. Okay, that bolt's on there. I'm gonna nut. I don't know if I'll do the same on the side. All I can say is I'm going to get creative when it comes down to time to tighten these finally. Because there's not much space in there. This setup is so tight in here. I don't know if it would be better to just weld the nuts to the back of this bracket, which I might do, honestly. Okay guys, just so that you can see what I'm dealing with, let me try and get my light over here. This is so tight. The entire, like, once I get it up where it's gonna live, it's gonna be a little better near this. Actually, I just thought about this. I don't know if I'll be able to actuate this over. Yeah, I will be. Okay. Like, it's just all very tight. I may actually have to trim that a little bit. I mean, this is stuff I'll have to figure out when I go to finally, like, do the final tighten. But this thing, I mean, there's no room. In reality, you probably shouldn't be putting an Apex 12,000 pound winch in here. But we're doing it. I may take my grinder and just touch this frame here. I'm not sure yet. Okay, so I'm back in my buddy's garage. This is hopefully going to go together for a final assembly today. I am going to take my grinding wheel and just touch a little bit of the frame on each side, just to clearance a little bit for the winch, and hopefully everything will go together smoothly. So I actually need to bring it back a little bit closer. Okay, since I grinded all this, I wanted to just lay down one thin coat of primer on it just to keep any bit of rust prevention I can. I mean, obviously the whole frame could, use coated, but I don't drive it in the winter, so we're good to go. To get this in here, I had to pull this bracket out, slide this in here, reinstall the bracket, get all the nuts about where I want them, and then I'm going to tip this up, and hopefully everything will line up. I did weld the nuts to the back of the bracket because with the Apex winch in there, I cannot get my hands back there to attach everything. There's one. I'm going to have to stuff up. It doesn't quite fit the way I like. Maybe not danger of welding all together. Should go. What? So this, 19 or 40. I'm gonna be worse than this. Okay, all of them are started. I'm gonna go ahead and run them in with the impact. Okay, so we have the winch mounted and everything is bolted up. I did not, on the other side, I did not use this bolt because it interferes with the power steering pump and I didn't want to take everything apart. But I think overall it looks great. It did turn out good. We are going to be building a move bumper here in the next couple days. So I will mount the fair lead onto the move bumper. Should be out here somewhere. All right, I'm going to show you guys the clearances, and that's why I grinded out the frame a little bit because there's just not much room. I should have grinded more over here, but I didn't grind enough, but it'll be fine. I used the winch relocation mount that came in the Badlands hardware, and then this is the free spool. It's a tight fit, but it does all work. Hopefully nothing ever gets up there. It will not work then. So as you can see, I ran the wires up in between the frame and the body. And then I came in through the wheel well down here. And then mounted the control panel right here. I will do a final mounting later, but that's just what we did for now. Okay, now that we have it all hooked up, we're just going to try and pull this truck out of the garage. I mean, obviously we knew it would do this. Press the brakes. Badlands wireless remote on the newly installed winch. Dragging forwards where they need to be every time. Alright guys, thank you for sticking along with me through this project. It's been a lot harder than I anticipated, but I think the results are going to be amazing, and I'm super excited to start on this move bumper. It will be happening here soon. I just got finished up with my Sierra bumper. There will be a video out on that here soon. If you guys could, please like, share, subscribe, comment below with your thoughts. I really appreciate everybody to take the time to watch this video. Thank you.